have had a week. I've had a very emotionally turbulent week. I've just started my period, so I feel like, yeah, it just sums this week up, to be perfectly honest. So I thought I was going to do a whole sit down video, but to be quite honest with you, I just want to do more of like a casual vlog style. I have a perfect topic to talk about, which is emotional eating. So I thought, what better way than to talk about emotional eating when I am going to do it with you. I am about to go out to the shops to get some female supplies because, yeah, I've started my period early and I need to get some supplies. So while I'm doing that, I am going to grab some yochi. And if you're new to my channel, I'm obviously from the UK, but I've moved over to Australia. Yeah, we don't have in the UK anything like yochi. I don't, maybe in London, maybe, I'm not sure. But yochi is basically like a frozen yogurt place. I've only had it once here in Australia, but today I just randomly had a thought of like, treat yourself to some yochi. Like, just go and, you've had a week, babe, so go and knock yourself out with some yochi. So yeah, and I thought, what better way to kind of do that and also talk to you guys about emotional overeating, because this is a topic that comes up quite a lot with clients. Yeah, I thought it would be quite a fun way to kind of do that. So come along. I'm about to get in the car, well, obviously now, but I'm going to go out to the shops and go grab some supplies. So come along with me, and a beverage, a yochi, whatever takes your fancy. And yeah, feel free to come along, like and subscribe if you would like to see more. If you like these style of videos, if you prefer the more formal kind of sit down videos, please let me know in the comment section. It does help me out, and let's have fun. So I got the vanilla and strawberry, it's frozen yogurt. Yeah, it is frozen yogurt. And I got some Nutella and Biscoff spread, which is also very good, cookie dough, and some pistachio, that pistachio cream stuff that is everywhere right now. A little bit of Nutella as well. It looks like it's turned to mush, but it is pretty good, especially the cookie dough. It is day one of my period. I don't have like major cravings. I've noticed more cravings throughout the earlier on in the week, but especially if you've not watched my video about coming off of the pill, I'll link it below. But in that I kind of talk about how my appetite changed. I've not noticed like major cravings this week. Like, it is probably slightly more desire for slightly more salty food, carbohydrates and things like that, but definitely not what my mindset and relationship with food used to be like, especially when I was on the pill and also when I was overeating and kind of in this yo-yo cycle with food. That is something that I struggled with a hell of a lot. Whereas now I feel like my appetite is very, very stable. So although I have bought this today, and this was $11, so in the UK, that is £5, which is pretty, it's not super cheap, but this is not like a regular thing. I've had it on my mind for a while and I was like, oh, I want to try it. So I thought I would treat myself. Today's video is going to be topic of emotional eating. Obviously, this is a form of emotional eating that I'm doing right now. Am I hungry for yochi? Absolutely not. I'm not in any way, to be honest. I don't actually even want the rest of this. I'll probably put it in the freezer if I'm being completely honest. I want to kind of talk on the subject of emotional eating and what it is, because this is a subject that comes up quite a lot with my clients as well, because I think we hear about it and sometimes we might not know if we are doing it. Sometimes we might not know if we have to not do it. So it can be quite a confusing time, and I think when we don't understand what emotional eating actually is, are strategies and ways that we can try and use to overcome issues with our weight or our eating habits might actually not be addressing the main issue, relationship with food. So I want to dive into what it is. As I do this, I'm probably going to be hugging this pillow because the cramps have come on. I've actually put the yochi in the freezer. I said I don't actually feel like having it right now. But this is the good thing about freedom with food. You can understand that I can have that whenever I want. There's no need and urgency to have it all right now if I don't actually want it. Sometimes you just want to try something just for the sake of it. When we think and talk about emotional eating, the main way I can describe this is when we think of food, we think of we're eating because we feel hungry. Now, about food is we eat for all kinds of reasons other than just to satisfy hunger. Now, food, obviously, we need food to survive. But food is so much more than just fuel. Yes, that's a big part of it, and it has a huge part and component to play in the realms of health and wellness. What the foods that we eat have a direct correlation to how good we feel, how much energy we have, and how we operate in our life. If we don't have the correct energy to fuel ourselves throughout workouts and our day-to-day life, our energy plays such a big part in that. So if we're not eating foods that actually fuel us and make us feel good, then we're gonna struggle, we're gonna feel fatigued, we're gonna feel lethargic, we're gonna feel like no matter what we eat, it's not doing anything, it's not satisfying us, etc. But food is also so many other things. Food is pleasure. Food is a source of celebration. Food is a way to connect with people. Food is part of culture and religion and all different kinds of ways that we interact with other people. So we are on a different day, and yeah, we're just carrying this video on because something happened, so I couldn't carry on filming. But where I was saying and what I was going with this is understanding that food is so many other things other than just fueling our body. Sometimes, for example, a birthday party, we eat birthday cake not because we're hungry and not because birthday cake is nutritious and it has so much nutritional value, but because it's part of the experience, it's part of enjoying ourselves when we're at somebody's birthday party and we're celebrating. We're using food as a way to celebrate something. Let's be honest, food tastes good. There's so many other foods out there that literally just, there's no nutritional value really, but it just tastes good. Cake tastes good. So understanding that food is just so much more than just it needs to give us a specific purpose and fueling our body in a certain way, and that any food that we eat to serve a purpose for our health, for example. Understanding that food is a huge part of our health, our physical health and our mental health and our energy. Of course that's important, but this is where creating a healthy, balanced relationship with food is really important, because if we are so focused on food just needing to be super healthy and super nutritious and never enjoying food just as what it is and just part of day-to-day life and just enjoying food for pleasure, enjoying food for making memories with people, and when we travel to other countries, like food is a part of culture and travel and trying different foods when we're in a different country. That's part of the experience, and it's part of the human experience as well. But over the years, particularly in the fitness industry, we've been sold this idea that food is just about how we look, and we need to be overly conscious about the foods that we put in our bodies. We need to micromanage our food to an absolute point of where we're overthinking anything. And a lot of the clients that I work with usually come to me at that point where they feel paralyzed by food. They don't know how to listen to their bodies anymore because they're so disconnected from it. They've come from a place of just only thinking about food from their logical mind and thinking that food needs to be super healthy and needs to fit a certain amount of calories or whatever, that they're massively disconnected from their bodies. So when it comes to emotional eating, understanding that sometimes we eat emotionally. Like I said at the birthday party, eating birthday cake is completely emotional. That is a type of emotional eating. We're not eating for serving the purpose of feeling full and satisfied. However, there is a certain type of emotional eating that does occur, and a lot of the women that I work with also struggle with things like emotional eating, and this could have been a habit that they've formed from fairly recent years, or it could be something that they've done for many years, even from childhood. But emotional eating is where we turn to food during a time of feeling emotionally distressed of some way. So it could be that we're feeling really sad, or we're feeling stressed, we're feeling anxious. And the thing about our brain is, once we repeat a habit over and over again, our brain starts to form a strong habit pathway within our brain. So if we have always turned to food like chocolate and sweets whenever we felt disconnected from ourselves, whenever we felt super anxious or super stressed, for example, on a stressful day at work, we go straight to the shops on the way home and we buy chocolate. All we can think about is the chocolate. The work of emotional eating is understanding that this type of emotional eating isn't usually benefiting us in the best way. What happens is, when we start to use food as a way to numb ourselves, when it starts to feel where it just feels really, really compulsive, and we might start eating excessive amounts of chocolate, so we feel really stressed. The only thing that we can think about is getting our hands on a chocolate bar or sweets and crisps and things like that. The problem with that is, again, we're very disconnected to what is happening with our body. So part of healing the emotional response to food is understanding what emotions are going through our body. Now, this takes practice and it takes conscious awareness. And I struggled with emotional eating for a long time, to the point where it felt very impulsive. It felt like I had no decision to make. It was just like, I felt really anxious, I felt really stressed, and I would eat really quickly because that was the only thing that could help calm me down. And of course, this is only just a temporary way of calming ourselves down, because we're just using food to kind of emotionally suppress the stress and anxiety that we're actually experiencing with our body. And the problem that, and I find a lot of clients that I work with come to me for this reason, is they think that they need to be more disciplined. They think that they just need to start a new diet. But actually, the true problem that they're struggling with is not because they need to start a new diet. It's actually because they've got underlying emotional eating habits that are causing excess weight gain. That's what's causing them to eat more and therefore gain more weight. So they're looking outside of themselves and looking for a new diet to try, when actually, if they was to heal their emotional response to food, the emotional response to large amounts of food when they are feeling stressed, if they was to heal that and start to work with their emotional eating habits, the excess weight would actually go. It's not about doing more diets. It's actually about, once you balance your relationship with food, where you're able to eat in a way that you feel good, you feel physically healthy, happy and balanced, but you can also enjoy the odd slice of cake when it feels good to do that, but it comes from a much more conscious place, rather than feeling very impulsive around food when you're feeling emotionally triggered. When we are feeling emotionally triggered, once we heal that emotionally responsive reaction to emotional eating, we can then come and behave in a way from a much more conscious place. So we then get to decide whether or not we want to eat. Sometimes we might consciously want to, like yesterday. I definitely didn't need the yochi, but emotionally I was like, I want to treat myself. But it was from a conscious place. It wasn't coming from, oh my god, I just need to eat to try and hide what I'm feeling right now. So I invite you to do, if you do kind of resonate with what I've said in this video, is ask yourself, what do your specific habits with food actually look like? Do you feel quite triggered? Do you feel quite impulsive around certain foods? And even just asking yourself and having some self-inquiry and asking yourself, what is the reason behind me eating when I'm alone? And you might not know straight away. And again, this is where working with a coach can be really, really helpful. And if you do want more guidance and support, and you want to work on healing your relationship with food so that you feel healthy, happy and balanced, I do have spots opening up to work with me one-on-one, so I will link all of the details down in the description box below. If you want to jump on a call and you have some questions, I will also leave my details down in the description box below as well. Having that self-inquiry can help you to understand what your habits actually are with food, and why you might feel quite chaotic with food, and why also your weight might not be balancing out right now. as to what you want it to be. Usually we're looking for a new diet to solve the surface level problem, but actually the surface level problem is rooted from our relationship with food. We're carrying excess weight not because there's inherently something wrong with us, but because we're using food as a way to emotionally check out when we're feeling stressed, when we're feeling anxious. If we was to heal that and break that habit, which again is what I do with my clients, we work one-on-one to break those specific habits, and this can be so unique as well. Everybody is so unique with their habits and behaviors with food. Once you break that habit, your weight then starts to stabilize. You usually end up losing some of the excess weight that you have gained through overeating, compulsive overeating, emotional overeating. And that's the reason why we're usually carrying more weight. It's not because that we need to start a new diet. It's not because there's something wrong with us. Starting a new diet only perpetuates the cycle even further, because then we feel more and more disconnected from our bodies. Our bodies actually don't want to be overweight. Our bodies want to be healthy, nourished. What it's about is healing our relationship with food so that we can eat food in a way that supports our physical health, our energy, feeling good, and mentally and emotionally feeling good. We're not feeling restricted, so we're not in this restrict and binge cycle. Once you do that, your weight starts to balance and you're able to work with your body rather than against it. And this is all what I do with my one-on-one clients. So I definitely invite you, if you are looking to heal your relationship with food and you want to feel good in your body, you want to feel confident and get to a place where fitness also feels good for you as well, and you're not carrying excess weight and you're not feeling ashamed of your body, you want to feel good in your workouts and things like that. All of this comes under one umbrella. So I will link everything down in the description box below. And once again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know this has been more of like a bit of a scattered video today, but yeah, it's been one of those weeks for me. So just understanding as well, and remind yourself that you have got through some of the hardest times of your life already, and if life right now does feel quite chaotic and maybe a little bit stressful, use that as an indication to remind yourself to come back to yourself and be kind to yourself, but also remind yourself that you can get through hard times, you can do hard things, and the more that you work on your relationship with yourself, your confidence just goes up and up and up. I worked on my relationship with food right at the beginning, and it was through doing that I built that self-resilience, self-trust and self-confidence within myself that I can do hard things. Our relationship with food is almost like a reflection of what's going on for us internally and our self-perception and self-confidence. So once you heal your relationship with food, you actually notice that your confidence and self-belief and self-trust in yourself throughout all areas of your life, whether it be work-related, relationships, all of the things, you then develop a new level of self-trust and self-respect for yourself as well, ultimately. So I'm going to leave that there, and I hope that this video has been helpful. If it has, please feel free to leave a comment below. Comment below any future videos you would like me to film, or anything that you're personally going through right now, maybe something that you need more support with. Subscribe if you would like to see more of these videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.